Have you ever wondered how our ancestors, millions of years ago, figured out how to farm? So who or what taught us this revolutionary skill? Is it a stroke of genius, a lucky accident, or something else entirely? Let's travel back in time, way back. Not just thousands of years, but millions. Around 4 million years ago, our early hominin ancestors, like Australopithecus, were roaming the African savannas. Their world was vastly different from ours. They didn't have language as we know it, no complex tools, and certainly no instruction manuals for farming. They gathered fruits, nuts, roots, and scavenged for whatever they could find. So, if these early humans weren't farming, who was? The answer might surprise you. The first farmers on Earth weren't human at all. They were insects, specifically ants and termites. For tens of millions of years before humans even existed, certain species of ants had perfected the art of agriculture. Leafcutter ants, for example, don't eat the leaves they so diligently carry back to their nests. They create underground fungus gardens, carefully tending to them, weeding out competing molds, then harvesting the fungus as their primary food source. It's a highly sophisticated system of agriculture that has been passed down through countless generations of ants. Termites do something similar, cultivating fungus gardens within their massive mounds. Our ancestors possessed incredible knowledge of the natural world. They knew which plants were edible, which were medicinal, and which were poisonous. They understood the seasonal cycles, the migration patterns of animals, and where to find water. This deep ecological knowledge was the foundation upon which agriculture was eventually built. And encouraged the growth of new edible plants, which in turn attracted game animals. This wasn't farming in the traditional sense of sowing and reaping, but it was a deliberate manipulation of the environment to increase food availability. The real agricultural revolution, the one we typically think of, began around 12,000 years ago. This is where things get really interesting. It didn't happen in just one place. In each of these places, people started domesticating different sets of plants and animals. Wheat and barley in the Middle East, rice and millet in Asia, corn and squash in the Americas. Instead, the conditions became right for it to emerge. The climate became warmer, wetter, and more stable. This allowed certain wild grasses, the ancestors of our modern grains, to flourish in dense stands. For the first time, hunter-gatherers could find so much food in one place that they didn't need to roam constantly. It was a slow, gradual process of observation and experimentation over many generations. Over decades and centuries, this unconscious selection process slowly transformed wild plants into their domesticated versions. Wild wheat, for example, has a brittle stalk that shatters easily to disperse its seeds. But occasionally, a mutation occurs, resulting in a plant with a tougher stalk that holds on to its seeds. In the wild, this mutation is a disadvantage, but for a human harvester, it's a jackpot. We essentially co-evolve with these plants, changed them, and in return, they changed us, anchoring us to the land. The first teacher was nature itself, the stable climate and the abundance of domesticable wild plants. The second teacher was observation and necessity. As populations grew, people needed a more reliable food source than hunting and gathering could provide. They learned by watching, by accidentally spilling seeds, and by noticing the results. They were the original scientists experimenting with their environment, passing down their knowledge, and slowly, painstakingly, building the foundation of the modern world. They taught themselves, and in doing so, they taught all of us how to build a civilization.